Russia. Ukraine war, a long journey from 2022 to today. The beginning of the war and the first days. On February 24, 2022, the Russian Federation launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. This date is seen not only as the start of a war between two nations, but also as the beginning of a major fracture in European security and global politics. In the early hours, Russia targeted several Ukrainian cities, including the capital Kyiv, with missile strikes. A large-scale ground offensive followed, launched from three main directions: north via Belarus, east via Donbass, and south via Crimea. Vladimir Putin described the assault as a special military operation, claiming the goal was to demilitarize and denazify Ukraine. However, the Ukrainian military and people responded with fierce resistance. Kyiv did not fall within days. As expected, Western countries quickly united and began to supply Ukraine with weapons, funding, and intelligence. What was intended to be a swift blitzkrieg turned into a prolonged war of attrition. Human and military losses. Russian losses. Military personnel. As of April 2025, Ukraine estimates that around 700,000 Russian troops have been killed, wounded, or rendered unfit for combat. Equipment losses. Tanks 6,300. Armored vehicles 8,000. Fighter jets 315. Helicopters 316. Drones 2,000. Artillery systems 3,345. MLRS multiple launch rocket systems 571. Logistics and support vehicles 5,200. Estimated financial loss over $140 billion in military hardware. Ukrainian losses. Military personnel between 60,000 to 100,000 killed, up to 400,000 wounded or missing. Civilian casualties, at least 30,000 civilians killed, according to the UN. Hundreds of thousands have been injured. Equipment losses. As of April 2025, over 3,451 pieces of military equipment confirmed loss per Oryx. International aid and involvement. United States, largest supporter, providing over $100 billion in aid. Supplied HIMARS Patriot missile systems, Abrams, tanks, drones, training, and real-time intelligence. European Union and NATO. Billions of euros in military and humanitarian aid. Delivered Leopard 2 tanks, Germany, Challenger 2 tanks, UK, and air defense system, Spain. Strengthened NATO presence on its eastern flank. Poland, Baltic states, Canada. Trained Ukrainian troops, provided advanced weaponry. Vocal support for Ukraine's future NATO membership. Course of the war 2022 to 2025. Spring 2022, the siege of Kyiv failed. Russia retreated from northern Ukraine. Summer 2022, heavy fighting in Donbass cities like Severodonetsk and Lysychansk fell to Russian forces. Autumn 2022, Ukraine used HIMARS to strike Russian logistics. Kherson was liberated in November. 2023, brutal battle for Bakhmut, the only place Russia made advances at a high cost. 2024, Ukraine launched a counteroffensive, but failed to achieve major breakthroughs. The war entered a stalemate. 2025, diplomatic efforts intensified. The Trump administration sought fast-track solutions, but no final agreement was reached. Ukrainian resistance and the economy. Ukraine's economy shrank by over 30%. Millions fled the country. Germany, Poland, and Turkey received the highest number of refugees. Post-war recovery plans have started through mining and infrastructure agreements, especially with the U.S. International law and war crimes. Russia accused of war crimes for targeting civilian infrastructure. Bucha massacre, Mariupol hospital bombing, and other atrocities sparked global outrage. The International Criminal Court, ICC, issued an arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin over alleged war crimes. Leaders' key statements 2022 to 2025. February 2022. Putin, February 23, 2022. Ukraine's NATO membership poses a direct threat to Russia. We are launching a special military operation to protect Donbass and denazify Ukraine. Zelensky, February 24, 2022. Russia has declared war on our independent country. They're attacking our people, our freedom. We will not surrender. We will resist. Western support and defiance. Zelensky, March 2022, European Parliament. We are not only defending our land, we are defending Europe's freedom. This is not just an invasion. It is an attempted genocide. Putin, April 2022. The West is using Ukraine as a pawn to contain Russia, but we will reach our objectives. The neo-Nazi regime in Kiev will fall. Ukrainian counterattacks. Zelensky, November 2022. Kherson visit. This city is a symbol of our independence. Russia will lose, Ukraine will be free. Putin, December 2022. This is not merely about Ukraine. This war is about a new world order. U.S. politics and Trump's claims. Donald Trump 2023 campaign rally. If I were president, this war would have never started. And if elected again, I will end it in 24 hours. Putin respects me. Putin 2023 St. Petersburg Forum. Ukraine is an extension of the West. If they want peace, they must recognize Crimea and Donbass. We don't bargain, we reclaim what's ours. Zelensky 2023 CNN interview. Trump says he'll end the war in 24 hours. There's only one way this war ends: with justice. We won't trade our land or our people. 2025 barriers to peace. Marco Rubio, April 2025 Paris press conference. We can't keep negotiating endlessly. If there's no serious intent for peace, the U.S. will pull out of the process. Trump, April 2025 White House. We've made our proposal. If Putin doesn't respond, we move on. America's time is valuable. Zelensky, April 2025, during visit to Italy. Peace for Ukraine doesn't mean silence. Peace means justice. We won't compromise our independence. Final reflections. This war has become one of the most significant military, economic, and humanitarian crises of the 21st century. Millions displaced, tens of thousands dead, economies rattled, and the global order forever altered. Zelensky 2025 Independence Day speech. We are not only defending ourselves, we are defending freedom itself. This war is our war for survival, and we will win. This war has tested the limits of humanity, the strength of nations, and the resolve of a people who refuse to surrender. Ukraine has stood not just for its borders, but for the principles of freedom, dignity, and sovereignty. As the world watches, the battle continues, not only on the front lines, but in the hearts of those who believe in justice. The outcome of this war will shape the future of our generation and the next. And while peace still feels distant, one truth remains clear. Courage is louder than bombs. Hope is stronger than fear. And freedom, once fought for, will never be forgotten. This is not just Ukraine's fight. It is a reminder to all of us that liberty, when threatened, must be defended no matter the cost. History is being written before our eyes. And one day, the world will say, they stood, they fought, they endured, and they prevailed.